Ladies and gentlemen, how is every single one of you guys doing here today? Welcome to the biggest party of the summer. Well, the predictions for it.
The biggest predictions of the summer.
The biggest predictions of the summer. This is SummerSlam. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome everybody here to our prediction show. I'm going to actually change this to predictions right now so that people know what we're doing. Predictions. There we go.
Like that. Someone said, is Bob going to be here?
Oh,
what am I? What am I right now?
Oh, Bob is here, folks. Bob is here. That's right, guys. We are here, though, live with SummerSlam predictions. My name's Conman. This is Bob. We're going to be live the entire day today, covering all of the action. Today, though, for this preview show, we are going to break down all 13 matches?
13, I think.
13 matches here today. We're going to break them down. We're going to give you guys our predictions for what storylines could follow, what the overarching theme of the night might be.
Yep.
We're going to talk about what might be the match of the night, what might be the show stealer, and who might turn heel.
Ooh.
All right. It's going to be a good show here today, guys. Though, if you guys like the sound of our sexy voices, you can listen to the Con and Bob podcast, which is literally just our voices where we talk all things wrestling. We give you good Raw, SmackDown, NXT reviews, and we're going to have a great one coming up this upcoming Friday where we talk about the fallout from SummerSlam. So make sure you guys talk and listen to that podcast.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, today, SummerSlam. You excited?
I am ecstatic. I've been so ready for this for a while, but like just in the weeks leading up, watching all of the promos, watching all of the rivalries just continue to grow, and I said it on the pod last week. My MVPs of the week have been that needed a shout out were the writing team, because they've been building these rivalries so well. They have been. Right? And this is how I care about all of them. There's some of the best rivalries going on, and they're doing them well in the sense that they're not doing that stupid 50-50 booking. Right? Like we haven't seen KO versus Strowman since the last, outside of a tag team match. Yeah. Since the last pay-per-view, was it?
Yep, since he threw him off the top of the
a year
steel
ago,
cage,
we might have seen those guys fight 6 times in that gap.
Yeah. Oh, easily. What I will say about the WWE writing team now is you compare it to a year ago, and the roster is so much deeper this year now than it was a year ago. Yeah. The superstars have been built up now. The call-ups from NXT seem to be roughly where they should be. You know, you got people like Baron Corbin, like Seth Rollins. I know like Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, they're not technically NXT call-ups, but they're where they should be. Roman Reigns is where he should be. We do lack a champion, you know. That's really
hopefully going to be resolved by the end of tonight.
Yeah. But like call-ups like Samoa Joe.
But even that rivalry has been good with the lack thereof of Brock Lesnar, because he's been appearing. Mm-hmm. He hasn't been wrestling, which is fine. They don't need to wrestle every week.
Exactly.
We had even said, like guys like Roman Reigns don't need to wrestle every week.
No, they don't. They need to be the attractions, right? Yeah. Get the mid card to do your main wrestling, and let the Intercontinental title scene be in the main event of Raw. And, you know, have those promo segments around the 10 o'clock mark, right?
And the odd match here and there.
Yeah, and the odd match. Like, I think that was they've gotten a good formula the last few weeks. They've made the shows feel like they flow really well. But now, let's see if it continues on in to SummerSlam. What is the first match of the night we're going to talk about today?
B-Team.
B-Team.
The Revival.
So that is Bo Dallas.
Curtis
Axel.
We're
almost there. Curtis Axel. Versus what's his name? Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder. Yeah. Dash Wilder. There we go. I was forgetting their names for a sec. Like they refer him to Dash and Dawson all the time. And I'm like, what's their first name?
Which is weird because Dash is his first name and Scott is the other first name. So
it is. So
a bit strange.
Now that we really hyped you guys up there for that beautiful intro, let's talk about who we think is going to walk away with the tag titles in this match. Who do you have, man? Who do you have?
As much as I love B Team, Revival.
It's the Revival's day. It's gonna be the Revival. If it's not the Revival, I think we can officially say the Revival would be done.
Not buried, but it's
like,
going to be a tough.
It'd be a very tough climb for the Revival to overcome a pre-show tag team championship loss to the B Team in technically 2-on-2 match,
especially the way that the B Team retained it on Monday.
Yes,
the
B Team doesn't
the Shatter Machine got hit, and then they just threw, I believe it was Dawson, out of the ring into Dash.
Yep.
To take both of them out and took the pin.
Agreed. That's what happened there. It also, the build makes sense for the Revival for this to be their coronation, as the top tag team on Raw. It makes sense. The Deleters of Worlds seem to be done and gone with.
Because Matt. We likely think Matt's retiring, so that's
either retiring or he's definitely injured. He's definitely taken time away. They've officially said that the tag team is done between Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy now on social media. So that chapter of the tag team division is done with. So we got to look who's next. And B Team, as fun of a run that they've had, it is a comedy tag team run that was meant to be a transitional champion to get the Revival.
And they've been great.
Yep.
Like, they're funny, they're solid in the ring, and they're getting over.
Yep.
But
like they've had a fun run, and there's nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
But it's like asking yourselves, when you're watching the Heath Slater and Rhino tag team run or the SmackDown tag team championships, you ask yourself, okay, this is fun, but this is not lasting forever. It's not going to last too long, and they lasted for 2 months? I think they didn't have that long of a reign.
Yeah, not long, but that's fine.
And you know what? I think that's very similar with the B Team here. They've had a few title defenses. They've knocked off some top teams on Raw, and I think it's time now for them to move aside and make way for the Revival.
If they want to continue in that main title picture of the tag titles, in that top 4, 5, definitely top 5 tag teams on Raw, and just kind of get their chances here and there, get a few more championships in there, over if they're going to be a team for another year, say, or 2 years, fine. But they're not your mainstay tag team. They're not your New Day.
Nope, they're not.
They're not the Usos. Even the Bar.
They're not. They're not. Well, yeah, the Bar is a fantastic tag team.
The Bar's special. Man.
They are very special.
The way they came to be and
they are pretty good. No, they're not a tag team that's a mainstay.
They're a lot of fun.
They are gonna be the next. This is the run that I think almost the Fashion Police should have had, and they are giving it to the B Team instead.
Yep.
And I think the B Team is going to go down the tag team card a little bit after their loss to the Revival here, but not in a bad way. They're going to still be, loved by the fans for a little bit. I don't think their act's going to get too old anytime soon. They're just lovable buffoons, I
wouldn't mind seeing a Fashion Police B Team.
Yeah, I'd see that.
Little, not even rivalry, just something.
I'd like to see that on Raw, a Raw rivalry,
Yeah.
or something, or Raw Alliance. Maybe the Fashion Files come back and they're the new Ascension in it. Or something.
Those guys make sense to be in it.
Yeah.
Ascension didn't make sense at all.
Ascension actually turned out to be pretty funny.
They were pretty funny, but it was you're oh god, here's these guys that were monsters.
Yeah, it's so weird to look at them like that.
Dango's injured. I think he might be actually.
Yeah, Dango is injured right now. He is.
For a little bit.
No, he's injured right now, and that's why we are seeing a lot.
Side note: Dango's just a man. That dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to a pod with him on it one time, and he was saying he was up in Maine, building a home, building his summer home or something.
Jeez.
I'm that's just a man.
Jeez. But yeah, Fandango, that he's injured, so that's why we've been seeing Tyler Breeze be wrestling a lot of singles matches right now. Right. All right, what's the next match here on the SummerSlam card?
Rusev Day versus Almas and Vega.
Rusev Day.
Yeah,
I like it. You're good.
Who do you got?
So let me get them at least up here on the screen. So it was Rusev,
and Lana.
So for me, who I have winning this match, it's gonna be Cien Almas and Zelina Vega, because let's face it, They're so good.
Yeah, Almas is amazing. And possibly if they're leaning toward breaking up English and Rusev Day, leading into a mini SmackDown rivalry, maybe a pre-show culmination at the next, what's it, Hell in a Cell?
I could see that, yeah. Hell in a Cell
pre-show culmination of that rivalry. That would be a nice way to do it. Where English comes out.
Azad Tufik, thank you very much for subscribing.
Maybe to help them again, or maybe to betray them and be like, you guys aren't my real friends, whatever. Or maybe he goes to help them one last time and it screws them over again. So now Rusev Day's just had it with them and they're like, that's enough. Like, we're done with you. Mm-hmm. And just the way that you place them makes it look like
I know. I know.
Rusev and Selena are
it's all alphabetical. It's all alphabetical. So, but
yeah. So like, it depends. I think Rusev doesn't get. He's so over with the fans. He doesn't get hurt by losing. So, yeah, and Almas is so new that he needs to continue winning and showing that he's a threat. So,
yep, I agree with you on that one. I don't think the Rusev and Aiden English is going to be a big payoff. I think you're probably going to see one of two things happen. Aiden English snaps, and then we get a follow-up SmackDown sort of match. I don't think it's even... It might push itself to a pre-show card. That would be... It would have to be a really good turn by English, because...
I think that he could do it, though.
I think he could.
He's shown that he's been good on the mic.
He could. Just the question that I have, is the fan investment there, because Aiden English has never been seen more than a lackey to him. And lackeys, when they turn, sometimes they just don't get the rub.
Yeah.
Like, I could also see the other way going. They might say, all right, fans, you really, really want Rusev Day? Guess what? We're not giving it to you. Heel turn for Rusev, and he goes back to being a monster heel. Snapping on Aiden English. But I don't know if they're going to go any creative direction with that. I could just see simply Aiden English costing them the match again here, and then Rusev and Lana walking out on him, and we don't get any big payoff.
Yeah.
That is a very, very possible.
Sure.
All right, so that's that match, right? There's not much more to talk about with that match.
To go with that. I think it's gonna be a good match.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun.
It's gonna be fun. Almas and Rusev can go. Both those guys can go hard. Vega's pretty solid. Lana continues to get better. I think it's gonna be fine.
Yep.
Cruiserweight Championship. Cedric Alexander versus Gulak. Drew
Gulak. He's tiny. Let's make him a little bit.
I'm good either way. Whoever wins, I'm happy. Both guys are great for different reasons. I have I made a little change. I have Cedric in this
Cedric?
one.
Okay.
I wanted Gulak, but at the same time, I thought Cedric's been so good.
Yep. He has been really good.
As good as Gulak is, I don't know, just give a little diversity in our answers as well.
You know what, man? Honestly, I don't think it's a bad pick. Cedric Alexander has been nothing short of incredible since becoming the Cruiserweight champion. He's been great the entire run with it as well, leading up to the championship. I think he's really good. He's held on to it, though, since...
He beat Mustafa for it.
Yeah, and that was the culmination of the tournament, WrestleMania weekend. So he's held on to it for 4 months now. But he's been competing for it ever since Enzo. He's been competing for it ever since Enzo Amore got suspended.
Yep.
And he had a match scheduled before then and all that. So he's been around that championship picture for a long time. And the way that 205 Live is kind of moving right now, I could see another babyface run for Mustafa Ali to finally get a chance at the title. And Mustafa Ali versus Drew Gulak is a very well told story. They've been kind of at each other a few times. It would be kind of a nice culmination to their feud as well. So,
side note though, if we got Mustafa Ali beating Cedric Alexander for it in that face versus face, which we got in the
you love the face versus face, eh?
Well, hear me out in this situation though, especially because they were the two guys that fought for it at WrestleMania. and they put on a hell of a match, and the respect that was shown. So to have Mustafa finally reach the mountaintop and have Cedric be the one who puts him over for it, and after the match, Cedric raises his hand like, "Congrats, buddy," and then maybe he'll turn for Cedric.
Because you gotta be a wrestling fan there, and you gotta overbook things completely.
Yeah, just always end.
I personally,
and then maybe a turn.
I personally think the face versus face thing is overdone.
Overdone.
Yes, overdone. Because it should be a thing saved for the biggest and biggest draws facing off against each other, not necessarily just any two really good faces in the division.
Yeah, but this is also storytelling. This is also storytelling because it started with that.
Yeah, but my personal opinion on that, I don't like seeing as especially two face versus faces match. No, I don't like that. I like the dynamic, especially in some matches, heel versus face. Drew Gulak's a true heel. Mustafa Ali is the biggest baby face in 205 Live. So I think that would be kind of a cool match. So that is why I am picking Drew Gulak to win. Jordan Lee Mark Williams dropped $2. He says Murphy for future champ. I love Buddy Murphy as well. Yeah. I love him. I love his look. I love everything he brings to the ring. Future champ.
He's still with Alexa, right?
I believe so. But like future champ, yeah, I would say eventually one day he should get a run. Kind of like Akira Tozawa, you know? He's a good role player in the division. He's a very good role player and should get a championship run.
And I think he can be a real solid dude in that upper level of their players, right? Yeah. And he can continuously be a threat for the title.
Well, he looks like a threat at all the time. Like he really does. Yeah, absolutely
shredded.
Absolutely shredded.
Yeah. Next we have the hammer swinging Bludgeon brothers. So Harper and Rowan.
Luke Harper and
versus New Day.
Eric Rowan. Which two members of the New Day do you think it's going to be?
I think it's going to be Xavier.
Think Xavier?
I think it's going to be Xavier, and they got to go Big E.
Yep, Xavier, Big E.
I think. I know that Kofi's the obvious, like, it should be Kofi.
Who was in the tag team finals? Was it Xavier versus the Bar there? Was it Xavier and Big E?
No, it was Kofi and Big E.
It was Kofi and Big E? And
they don't wrestle.
And then Xavier and Big E just had the
No, they had a triple threat.
Yeah,
they had a 3v3.
3v3, right.
Yeah,
okay.
Sanity. So all three were there. Xavier tends to not wrestle on SmackDown as much. He tends to make some appearances on
and see, I think he's more the other way. He's normally on the ring side, and it's normally Kofi and Big E is in their pay-per-view match.
See, I feel like Kofi and Big E are in there way more often, period. But when Xavier tends to wrestle, it tends to be like a random pay-per-view.
I disagree with you entirely with that. He is always on SmackDown. He is always on the episodes of SmackDown. No, nope. Sorry, man.
I'm just thinking back to Usos versus them. Like the most times that Xavier wrestled during that was during pay-per-views. What it felt like. It's
mostly it seems like Kofi and Big E were the championship duo for a long time with the New Day. It's been that way for a long time. Now, I don't know if that's why I was asking. I don't know if we see that here. I truly think that, Xavier and Big E might be the thing. I just can't remember what the matchup was between Bludgeon Brothers and New Day the last time they were kind of squaring off, like who the duo was, because it makes sense for that duo to be flipped,
I think, though, that Xavier, it'll be better for Xavier against the Bludgeon Brothers because Xavier will be able to put his body through more mayhem.
I was going to say he's going to sell.
That.
He's the big seller of the group.
Way more.
Yeah, I agree. I think I think this is a good
Kofi
duo.
Kofi and Big E don't sell.
Yep.
But he tends to be like, I'll do that, no problem. And they're like, are you sure? That's kind of insane. And he's like, that's cool. For the sake of the match.
World of Dokken dropping $2. He says it's going to be the Mallet Bros. The Mallet Bros. You think so, eh? You think they're going to walk away with the win? We've just been discussing about who is going to be in the match. We don't know who's going to win. So, what's your prediction for this match, man?
It's a New Day.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It's a New Day as well. We both have New Day walking away with the championships here.
It was a triple threat last time.
Oh, okay. All right.
Man, that was forever ago.
And yeah, it was a while. All right. But yeah, we both have New Day walking away with the winner of this match. We think I don't know about you.
Tommy William, thank you for the sub.
I don't know about you, but the Bludgeon Brothers to me have been underwhelming as a championship run, not from the way they've been booked, but just connecting with the crowd.
I think it's from the way that they've been booked to an extent.
You think so? Okay.
I think that you shouldn't have. They've already proven that they're monsters. They're your tag team champions. Stop putting them in squash matches.
That's
week
true.
after week after week after week when they're your tag team champions.
Sorry, when I
have them squash real tag teams. Where's Primo and Epico?
Drew Wass, thanks for subscribing. Sorry, when I said the way they've been booked, I did not mean who they were booked against. Okay. I meant like truly like, they have been booked as monsters. When you look at it on paper, the amount of squash matches they have been in, they have been booked like monsters. I agree. Tag team champions should not be running over jobbers because you're the champs. You should be in meaningful matches.
Like the triple threat.
Like the triple threat.
Yeah, and just putting them in a handicap match against three tiny dudes doesn't make it any better.
No, it doesn't. It's so obvious when you go out there, right? You want the champions at least to feel like, they've got some challengers.
Do it against three dudes that are actual, like, where's Mike Kanellis?
Yeah.
Have them run through Mike Kanellis and, like, Ty Dillinger and someone that, like, makes sense. You're like, okay, that was three dudes that we know. And obviously have those guys put up a little bit of a fight.
Mm-hmm.
But then just, like, have Bludgeon Brothers destroy them. Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, we're overthinking things. Anyways, for them to be here, they have not connected with the fans so far.
55 Starks, thank you for the subscription.
Thank you very much. Welcome to the channel, dude. But yeah, I don't think they have booked them to for the ability to get over. And I know like heels sometimes don't have to get over to be effective. You don't have to be the most hated heel in the business to do your job effectively. I think the New Day is leaps and bounds more over for sure, definitely more charismatic, and I think connecting obviously way better with the fans.
Yeah.
So I would not mind seeing the tag team titles put on them for a 6th time.
6?
I think are they 5 times? No, they might be 5. Would this be for their 5th time?
Anyone know?
Oh,
San Antonio!
Don't you dare be sour. Clap for your longest reign. That's what they say. Longest reign. Longest reigning 4-time champs? That's what it is. Longest reigning 4-time champs. And feel the power. So
this
it'd be 5
their 5th time.
This would be their 5th time.
Also,
okay,
Raymond Auden. Mike, I was just using Mike Kanellis as an example. I don't care what. That's the thing. I don't care which brand he's on, and that shouldn't be the way because I should care.
Yeah.
He deserves to be cared about, but WWE is not done. But that's the thing. Guys like him or Ty Dillinger or whomever, stuff like that, should be utilized. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. So the next match, what is it? So we're officially on the main card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, officially on the main card.
Yeah.
Okay.
Constable Corbin.
Baron Corbin. Right
versus
here. Big bald bad Baron Corbin.
Versus the one, the only.
Finn Balor.
Finnegan
Balor?
Balor.
There you go. I like that. In this match, guys, this is one of those matches both of them could use the win.
Yep.
Both of them very much could use the win. I think we have been very, very lucky that Finn Balor has not been completely lost, considering that he's in this match, that this has been his feud, right? Mm-hmm. At least they still are doing something with him. But the fact that he's just hanging on by a thread, I could almost see him needing this win more.
Mm-hmm.
I could almost see him needing it more. But who do I have down here? Because I can't remember. All right. Yeah. I could almost see him needing it more. But man, like Corbin just being Stephanie's lackey almost. I think, man, a win for him would go a long way as well.
Yeah, Corbin's been really good since this character change, and like as I said, like this is one of those rivalries that have been built very well, and I'm not a big fan of the whole look at how tiny the little guy is rivalry where the big guy's just like, you're so tiny and I'm gonna
small.
beat
yeah
shit, whatever.
Yeah.
Then I'm not a big fan of that, but this one has been done well. Like the big cast Daniel Bryan one.
Wellish. I'm not gonna say well. I'm gonna say wellish.
Well-ish,
yeah.
But like the Daniel Bryan big cast one was terribly built.
Yes,
right?
It was. Yes,
this one has been like good because they haven't shown them a lot against each other.
And here's why I think this one's working a little better than Cass and Bryan. Cass and Bryan was supposed to feel like a bigger deal, and they resulted to the long overused big versus small. I'm bigger, like you're saying. Those feuds don't tend to work out that well.
But that hasn't been the major thing of this as well.
No, it hasn't been the major thing. But Corbin does say it a lot. He does reference how small Finn Balor is, how tiny he is, and all that. But it works in this sense because it is a mid-card feud. It's a mid-card feud about nothing. It's just giving them a reason to wrestle and us trying to get a reason for them to care. So Baron Corbin's being a dick. I guess I might root for Finn Balor, you know?
And Corbin's got one of the best move sets in WWE.
Oh, I love it.
And Balor's just Finnegan Balor. But I've got Balor winning it. I think it'll allow him to... I think it doesn't hurt Corbin, as weird as that sounds.
I think he's able to rebound.
Because he's the Constable, he's still that dick character that we're like, oh, we hate seeing you. That it doesn't hurt him, whereas Finn, it's like, okay, well, remember when this guy won the first ever Universal Championship?
They keep going back to that, but they don't really have any more.
Dipping down.
That's what I was saying there. I can totally see Finn Balor needing this win, possibly more. It just depends who they have stuff planned for right now.
Yep.
Who do they see pushing a little bit more at this moment? Who do they want to push? Because both of them, I would say, are dead even right on the card.
I think that they're holding off. You can't push Corbin further than a mid-card title right now in his role. You can't be the Constable of Raw and be fighting for the Universal Championship.
You don't think they could, eh? You don't think he could? Because I think that would be almost a cool corporate champion.
It could be interesting.
Not right now. If say they continued building them up, definitely not.
They would
right
have
now.
to rebuild the Authority again, though.
Yes.
Which at that point we're like, really, we're doing this whole thing again.
Call it something different,
But to have your Constable be your mid-card title holder, that's good. I like that. He's like, I'm your Intercontinental Champion.
What if this is a thing that we start that it continues to build up to? What if this is for some reason building to a Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin match for Control Monday Night Raw?
I wouldn't mind it.
Sometimes those matches are silly, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as a nice little side feud, to see Kurt Angle back in the ring, it wouldn't be hard to write, Stephanie says, all right, Kurt, you have one last chance to prove that that you're going to be good at your job. You're facing Baron Corbin for Control of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it, especially Kurt can still go relatively well.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Corbin, like I said, his best thing about him is his moveset in the ring, right? So and striking and everything. So it'll be in contrast of styles, I guess. Kurt's like a wrestler. He's literally a wrestler.
Yep.
An Olympic wrestler. So that style versus the Corbin, who's just want to smack your head off your damn shoulders.
Raymond brings up a nice opportunity. Yeah. Team Kurt versus Team Corbin at Survivor Series. The only thing with that is generally, at least the past 2 years, it's been Raw versus SmackDown, and that's a Raw entirety feud, So I wonder if they're going to have to be on the same side, if Kurt does have to fight with Corbin, in their Survivor Series team.
Yeah.
That would be maybe
I don't think that Kurt's on the Survivor Series team this year again. I think that they messed up not messed up. I think they did it last year, and if they do it again this year, it's like, we're done. We don't want to see this again.
Mm-hmm.
See your GM on the team, Triple H on the team, and so forth.
Definitely should not be loaded with, but I would not mind if it was just Kurt Angle, say, on the Raw team.
You're saying Corbin has to be there too?
Yeah, but Corbin but Corbin's an actual in-ring competitor. As much as his gimmick is he's the Constable, he's an in-ring competitor who is not technically the full authority figure. He's the voice of Stephanie McMahon.
I would say that it would make sense that Corbin is on the team and not Kurt.
Okay.
And maybe Corbin puts himself on the team because it's like Stephanie McMahon said this, and Kurt's like, I already have the 5th spot. And then Corbin's like, your boss made me the 5th spot, whatever. And then that's just, again, tension. And then you miss out on someone who, we would all want to be that 5th spot. Finn Balor type guy, right? Where we're like, are you kidding? Or even Braun Strowman. Imagine Braun Strowman was left off the team because Stephanie put Corbin in that spot. I'm
trying to think of the booking from there. It could work. It could is a big word there, though. I'm not sold on that idea. I'm not sold on the idea, honestly, of even doing that idea. I'm just pointing out the comment there. But I honestly wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing just a straight up Kurt versus Baron Corbin for control of Monday Night Raw thing, or at least to be the GM of Monday Night Raw, because Kurt doesn't have control of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
He's just the one who makes matches. That's been perfectly clear. It's crazy now, the situation of the GM, where so long ago it was GMs you felt like, oh, they're the absolute boss. They can fire anybody they want. And now it's like, well, since Stephanie can't be here every week to be the GM, we'll give her the off-screen GM, and you can just be the puppet master, or the person who relays information, whatever. Like, anyways, going too deep into that one. What's the next match here?
Got Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jeff Hardy.
Ooh, baby, this is for the United States title, right?
For the U.S. title, yeah.
Oh man, it's gonna be good.
Hang
on. Before I say good, I sure hope Jeff Hardy is okay. You know, if there's a match that I could see getting time cut from, I could see this one, unfortunately. We've noticed Jeff Hardy, like I literally just read this morning that Jeff Hardy had numbness. He couldn't feel his left hand.
No, dude's done. Like, he needs to retire.
He couldn't feel his left hand for 2 months, and the feeling just came back now. He had a pinched nerve in there somewhere, and his whole arm was asleep for 2 months. The dude is working hurt. He doesn't even hit the swanton bombs on what is it called, live events anymore, because his back can't take it. He only saves it for televised events.
He went on Tuesday with a damn twist of fate
and to a splash,
like just a body splash, not even from the just like.
Granted,
running
right after that happened, though. Granted, he did hit the swanton on Shinsuke Nakamura. So
yes.
From a visual standpoint, it makes sense that he won with something different than he hit his big move on Nakamura. From a visual standpoint, but I get
it was
what you're
just
saying.
Weird that he just did the splash. Like, I would have just had him pin after a twist of fate.
Yep.
We know that the twist of fate is a finisher.
Granted, I will give him this much. That is a interesting way. You know, you hit your big move, and on your way down, instead of just pinning, you splash into the pin for a little extra damage.
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense. It's like Rey Mysterio's splash after the 619.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, for who we have winning this match,
we both
have Shinsuke.
Shinsuke.
Yeah, we both have Shinsuke. I don't think Shinsuke should lose the title at all.
Nope.
If Jeff Hardy gets the title put back on him just to enter a feud for Randy Orton to take the title off of him, that is a dumb way. Yep. We don't need that.
I don't think that feud needs the title.
Nope, it does not. Does not need it. It can be an easy right Jeff Hardy out of TV. Randy Orton can be vicious, you know.
I think Randy's made it clear that he doesn't care about the title right now. Yep. He cares about showing all of you, the fans, that, like, he's better than your favorites and taking out the favorites. And I think he's going to be the perfect guy to essentially write Jeff Hardy off TV for a while and arguably retire him. But whether it's a kayfabe injury or the ability to get him off, and he might even do it tonight.
He might attack him tonight. Like, that is entirely possible.
He might attack him tonight. I think post-match, I think Shinsuke wins.
Could be disqualification.
Maybe not clean.
Could be disqualification. Randy Orton interferes in the match right when Jeff's about to hit the swanton or something like that.
Could be.
And then right to maybe off TV right there.
Yeah.
You know, comes back angry.
I think that Jeff needs to
RKO on Hardy with ref knocked out and Shinsuke retains is my prediction. That's not a bad one. Ref getting knocked out, I could see that happening.
Fair, yeah.
Yeah, Randy Orton being slithering that way.
Yeah, I think it can't end in disqualification. Like, Shinsuke needs to pin him 1, 2, 3 because otherwise Jeff has a legitimate argument for, like, well, I deserve a rematch.
He's going to have a legitimate argument for if he should deserve a rematch. I think there's going to be some sort of thing,
I
but
think it's just
no, it's going to be down the line. I don't see Shinsuke just getting the full clean. Randy Orton's going to come into some sort of distraction. It's going to be clean-ish. You know, it's going to be clean-ish, but it's not going to be Daniel Bryan making Batista tap out at WrestleMania. It's not going to be dead clean.
No. A heel winning is almost never legitimately clean.
Yeah, no. That's what I mean. Like, there's going to be some sort of outside. Like, Randy Orton's going to play into this match somehow. Don't know how, though. But I think if they wanted to put Randy Orton into the title picture, this would have been a triple threat match because it would have been no problem getting it in there. And I think that was the way they started out, but then backtracked on that because Randy Orton had a stare down with Shinsuke while Shinsuke held the title up. Right? They were planning triple threat. I think they just went with the one-on-one.
Which I like. I don't think the title needs to matter at this point for Randy. Miz versus Daniel Bryan.
His verse.
8 years in the damn making.
Oh my god.
The match that anytime it's mentioned or promos run, I literally get chills.
Mm-hmm.
The match that of my favorite WWE superstar right now against the WWE Universe's golden babyface. Like, their golden boy.
Mm-hmm. This match, I'm so excited for. I think you and I both speak for many people here saying it could be the show stealer. Could easily be the show stealer.
It was strictly from storytelling standpoint.
Yeah, strictly from a storytelling standpoint.
Incredible technicians in the ring, and the storytelling will be very few people tell a story better than The Miz.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Miz has gotten over just from storytelling. Like
his character work is better than anyone's. That's why he's my favorite wrestler in WWE.
Mm-hmm. But we both have the same outcome for this match, don't we?
Yes, we do.
We both have The Miz walking away with the win here, and let's dive into possible reasons, why he would win this one. For me personally, what it is that Daniel Bryan, I think, needs a bigger hill to overcome. As a babyface, yes, this has been painted as, 8 years in the making, and Daniel Bryan finally getting his revenge, after all the crap that Miz has said. The fans want to see Daniel Bryan triumph over the Miz, like that's the story. So make them wait. Make them wait till WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. Have this be for a title. Have this be Daniel Bryan versus the Miz at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. Have Daniel Bryan be the winner of the Royal Rumble to claw his way back to his greatest rival of all time, to finally see, after all this time of him being injured, being told he can never wrestle again, to overcome the Miz at WrestleMania 35. And where's it this year coming up? Do you remember where that is?
San Francisco? No, is that last year? No.
WrestleMania 35, because they just had it in New Orleans, right? That was for 34. MetLife Stadium. Where's that? Oh, New York. Okay. Interesting. Didn't know that. MetLife?
San Fran.
Not too sure. New Jersey? Okay, so New Jersey. That's where people are saying New York, New Jersey. But yeah, just imagine that, guys. For Daniel Bryan it would have been sweet if it was on at New Orleans like it was this past year. Right, for Daniel Bryan for once again to have that New Orleans miracle. Yeah. Right? It was in New Orleans, right? Or am I making that up?
21?
No, this past year. This past year?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, okay. Cool. But yeah, that would be a really good story, I think, fans.
Yeah, because that was the whole thing. They were like, John Cena should retire Undertaker in New Orleans. And then he won. So the place that he lost.
Yeah, but yeah, that was really. It has the possibility to be something really, really good. Any other final words for Daniel Bryan and Miz?
I like the idea here. Someone saying Brie might return. I like the idea of that to help keep Maurice from interacting. I hope it doesn't lead to it doesn't. This rivalry is the two of them. It doesn't need to include their families as much as others have. I think also the title thing comes in really interesting. I think this is your main show's equivalent to Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa.
Not yet. No.
As far this rivalry, no, not right now.
No, okay, all right, making
sure.
But
this is your rivalry that you can have run for a year.
Yes,
is what I'm saying.
Okay.
This is how. This is your Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano on the main card, because you can have it run for a year. They can have 3 matches in that time. I hope they have 3 matches in that time. You can have ideally your heel win the first 2, and then the third one being your face. It's almost like a Kenny Omega Kazuchika Okada thing, and maybe by the 3rd match it's WrestleMania, and maybe at that time the title is involved. It's fine. I don't think that this rivalry needs a title involved, but I think it will definitely keep it fresh and keep it interesting. And
I think it needs a title. I think it would need a title after the first match, because otherwise, what's the point? It's the
screwy finishes. It would have to be
no.
like
I would
Miz's
say
screwy finishes.
even this match here, if it didn't end in a screwy finish, I don't think you could have a second match in this without there being some sort of title implications, because they're building it up that it's an 8-year long build to this one match. This is the blow off match. No matter what happens in the match, this is supposed to it's supposed to be no, listen,
Yes,
it's supposed to be the blow off match to this feud. So that is why I don't think a screwy finish would lead to a second match. It would have to be think about Johnny Gargano. It was all a rivalry personal, and the rivalry continued because of the inclusion of a title.
After their second match.
First match was unsanctioned. Did not count.
First match.
Did not count. Unsanctioned match does not count. Technically, from in the WWE books, as been pointed out on NXT, that match does not technically count. Yes,
the false count anywhere.
The what's it called? Unsanctioned match, unsanctioned by William Regal. This is why you need to watch televised episodes of NXT and not just watch the takeovers.
I don't have the network, so
yeah, no, but like, so that is one of those points
but
there.
Regardless,
so the reason why the feud was able to continue was because of the inclusion in of a title.
After their second technical match, not included in WWE books, whatever, it's fine. But that was the one that the unsanctioned one is the one that Johnny won.
Yes, which is why Johnny does not have a sanctioned win over Tommaso Ciampa, which is so damn amazing. Like, I think that's why a title needs to be included.
I think too that this match, like this one, Miz's whole thing is like, you're my rookie, I'm your superior, I'm your pro, I'm better than you. Mm-hmm. And then if it takes him to cheat to beat him, Daniel will just be like, you literally can't. And Miz would run his mouth and be like, blah 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 blah. I proved it. And Daniel can just be like, you literally can't beat me without cheating. Like, if you don't need the rules, like, if you think that you need no rules, then we need to have no rules involved. And then that's where you have, like, a no holds barred or no disqualification.
I get that, man. I get that.
And then it's just a brawl. And then, by the third match, for sure, the title needs to be involved.
I think the title needs to be in some sort of implication by the second match, because they have already had their first match to blow off their NXT part. Remember, Daniel Bryan's very first match in WWE is a win over The Miz. And then you advance all the way to here. If you're going to look at the entire 8-year story, this next chapter right here, this is the blow-off match. And if there's going to be more to this chapter, more to this story, because Miz is a heel, he cheats to win, that's what he does. Mm-hmm. But he even said in that promo, he is heading for the WWE Championship after he gets rid of Daniel Bryan. And I think
it's going to have that end up being.
But that's what I mean. I don't think you can get the same story, the same level of effectiveness, unless a title is put on. Because
we wouldn't have got that out of Gargano Ciampa if they didn't include the title.
That's what I'm saying as well. We would not have gotten that type of feud. So right now, no, it's not there. If they advance it into a title spot and they continue to make the heated rivalries like this, absolutely. I think then you could start looking at the two and saying, all right, which one is better? From an in-ring standpoint, probably Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano. Probably for an entire feud from an in-ring standpoint.
For story. Yeah. Even for story, just the aspect of they had the luxury of being a team and then breaking up.
Yes, they did.
And then so forth, so forth. Yep. I think that the title will get involved, and I think it'll be wonderful. I think that it doesn't necessarily need to be involved by the second match. That's what I'm saying.
I'm curious, man. How are you gonna get to that second match?
I think logically, I think it doesn't need to. I think it will be.
All right.
I think it will be. I think maybe the second match is Miz versus Daniel Bryan. Miz retains a screwy way, but he retains. And then maybe, like you had said,
if the
Daniel
only way
ends up winning Royal Rumble to then face Miz at WrestleMania for the big win, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But that's
the only way. I'm thinking, like, if you're talking about a screwy finish in this match.
In this match, or
if this match, like, if you're saying, like, this is going to possibly have a screwy finish, then the next logical step for that would be probably a triple threat for the WWE Championship, whoever the champion is, versus Miz versus Bryan. And I think that would kind of be their next stepping point at that. And Miz would still get one over Daniel Bryan there.
Yeah.
And then that would send Daniel Bryan to the back of the line.
It could even be
main
yeah,
event.
it could even be Miz hits the knee on whomever is the champion at the time, about to pick up the win, and then Daniel hits the knee, Miz comes in, hits the skull crushing finale, or like just tosses him out, picks up the win off of Daniel Bryan to win the championship.
That could happen
in the triple threat. Yeah, that's fair.
There's lots of ways that I think they could go about it.
Daniel hasn't re-signed yet, but he's 90.
Put it
he
this way, guys.
Said he was 90% sure he's
he also just got put in WWE 2K19 in a full mode that is dedicated to him. Don't think they'd be doing that if he wasn't re-signing.
Yeah, he said it himself in an interview like last week that he's 90% sure that he's re-signing. There would have to be something drastic to make him not.
Cool.
Regardless, I think it's gonna be an incredible match, and
yes.
I'm excited for it.
Very excited. We both have the Miz walking away with the win there. All right, what's the next match?
Mela is money.
Woo! That would be Carmella
versus Charlotte Flair.
I like this one. They're all close together. Champ in the middle.
Versus
Becky Lynch.
Rebecca Quinn. Yeah. No, this is gonna be a damn fine match.
If I can
storytelling in this match is gonna be great too between Becky and Charlotte's side.
Yes, I think it's gonna be really good. For me, this match, I'm so excited to see it. I love the idea of Becky Lynch finally overcoming everything and finally possibly becoming the women's champion once again. It's been a while since we've seen her hold that title. She's played second fiddle to Charlotte for so long. This build is put. It was almost like it was the straight and narrow, to see Becky Lynch finally capture that women's championship again. Then Charlotte got thrown in the mix, and all of a sudden, a wrench got thrown in Becky Lynch's plans. Does this change the outcome, or do you think Becky Lynch still walks away with the championship?
My prediction is Becky.
Your prediction's Becky? All right.
You want to say your prediction?
I'll say mine. Mine's Charlotte. I got Charlotte.
I can see Becky winning.
Yes, I still can
and
as well.
It being good, and I would like it. We had talked about it a couple days ago. If she doesn't win, and Charlotte happens to win, based off something that Becky thinks, like, I had that championship in my hands, and you stole it from me, right? And then Charlotte's like, it was a triple threat, whatever. And that could build to possibly being a title match where Becky finally wins it at Evolution. That said, as bad as it sounds, I don't think that WWE and Vince McMahon see Becky Lynch as the same caliber of star player that Charlotte is, or Ronda is, or even Alexa is. Right? I think that she's she's on the same level as Sasha. I think Sasha and her are kind of here, but then there's these other people right there for their women superstars. So I don't think that they would want their title holder or their title, like, big match to be, and their nice thing to be Becky winning at Evolution. I think that they would want their main players to be winning at Evolution. Or in the big matches at Evolution. Because Becky's run might only last till prior to Evolution. She might lose it at Evolution. We don't know. Atahanif, thank you for the sub.
Scription.
But Becky, SummerSlam feels like it's the right time. Becky is like the fans' wrestler, and SummerSlam just feels like it's the right time.
Okay, I can give you that. I think you're definitely along the
You're
right track.
You're insane, but
yeah, here's the thing. The climb for Becky has been all about she's in Charlotte's shadow, right? Since Charlotte returned, back to the women's title, she feels once again overshadowed. And I don't think that's a story WWE's ready to cast aside just yet.
I don't think so either.
I think, I truly do think that Becky has all the possibilities to be the number one babyface in the women's division if booked on the right run, to be their version of Daniel Bryan in a women's division. I truly think that she has that potential. She is great in the ring, and when given chances to shine, that's all she does. So I'm going to say that possibility, that idea that you brought up of Evolution could be a thing. I don't know if there's going to be any title matches at Evolution per se. It might very well just be present versus past. No? it might be that style if they're going with Bliss versus Stratus right now. That got announced, right? You saw that.
Bliss won't be their champ.
But that's what I mean. But like announced, it's announced that the Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss is taken on. Didn't say for the title, but it said that she was taken on. So that makes me wonder: is WWE just looking at it as a nice little gimmick show, more so than a full-on pay-per-view? And that's what I hope isn't the case. I hope that there's title opportunities on it. I hope that all the top stars are on it. I hope that there's some nice little gimmick matches, past versus present. And I hope that the payoff would be at Evolution, because I do think that their closing moments of the show would look amazing with Becky Lynch overcoming all the odds.
Yes, I do too.
I think that would look amazing. And now, hey, if we get Becky Lynch overcoming all the odds tonight, I think that's good. I don't think there's any story that doesn't point to her winning the Women's Championship at some point. I wouldn't mind seeing it tonight, and so if Becky Lynch does happen to walk away with it, great. But the one suggestion we haven't mentioned at all is there any way Carmella walks away with the championship here tonight?
There's a way, but it would have to completely, in my mind, I think it would have to completely do with the constant tension between Becky and Charlotte getting in each other's way, and then Carmella just capitalizing on that somehow.
Here's how I could picture it going down. If I had to say I had to put my booking hat on, Vince came to me and said, all right, we need a way to let Carmella win, maintain heat, and, walk out as the champion still, right? All right, so you would have something like Becky Lynch, Charlotte team up on Carmella in the early going. They've got their tea time. They're aligned right now. They want to clear her out of the ring and then go one-on-one with each other to see who is truly the best woman in the matchup. They have their fights. Carmella keeps trying to get back in. They keep turning their attention to her as soon as she comes back in, not allowing her to get in the ring. Then eventually, starts to break down. Carmella will get one of them out and have her run in the ring, whatever. The final moments of the match could be something like Becky Lynch has finally locked in the disarmer on Charlotte Flair. Finally locked it in, and she is ready to overcome all the odds and not only win the Women's Championship from Carmella, but beat her biggest roadblock, in a sense, in Charlotte. Her best friend right there, Charlotte Flair, has that disarmer locked in deep. Charlotte's just about ready to tap out. Super kick from Carmella right to the face of Becky Lynch, knocks her down, gets to roll out of the ring. Carmella picks up the win. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
I think that would be the way that you would have to get Carmella back there if you were to have Carmella walk away with the win.
Yeah.
I think that's the way you do it. And you would have to have Becky come oh so close to finally knocking them off and just not able to do it. Just delay it even more. I like that. If they were to do that, though, I still think, one of Becky or Charlotte is the favorites.
Yeah.
I think if you had to do favorites right now, the story points to Becky Lynch. Right now, overcoming all the odds.
Yeah.
That's the story right now. My pick is Charlotte. Yours is Becky Lynch. So we'll see. We'll see which one is right, and who knows? Maybe Carmella walks out of there.
And following that, we've got one of our favorite rivalries coming into this. Our most intriguing storyline, I think.
Which
Ziggler versus Rollins.
Dolph Ziggler versus
I think it's
Seth
I think it's our most I think it's as weird as it sounds, I think it's the one match that we are looking forward to the most because of neither of the guys that are in the match.
I'm looking forward to just the match. The match itself,
but I think that we are more excited, or it's brought it to a whole nother level because of someone who's not in the match. But
I am very excited.
In the match.
I am very excited. Could I say my excitement is turned up more for this match now that Dean Ambrose is at ringside? Yes, I think that is a way to say it.
I think it's elevated it to a whole new level. Because we don't know what's happening.
Dwayne Lee says, recap. Also, you rock. We'll give you guys a quick little recap of our predictions, I guess, at the very end. But Dwayne Lee, thank you so much, dude, for your $5. We're just going to try to get through all the predictions. You can, at some point, if you want to go back in the video, you can, just to see what our predictions were. But we'll tell you guys our full predictions.
I'm excited for this match, though.
But I am excited. I will say this much about it, that... Man, I was excited before because Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler are literally my second... Well, Dolph Ziggler's my second favorite wrestler of all time, and Seth Rollins is right up there, probably top 3, top 5. How they interchange, right? Mm-hmm. He's right up there right now, though. It's a very exciting match for me. I think there's lots of potential for a heel turn from a lunatic at ringside.
Yeah.
But if we had to pick, who do you have winning this match?
I got Ziggs.
I got Ziggs as well.
Yeah.
Yep. It's we think Dolph Ziggler walks away with the championship. Now, there's so many directions they could go in this match. They could go with a heel turn. They could go the obvious heel turn. Yep.
Yeah.
And what sometimes I think a lot of fans have to remember this. Sometimes the most obvious choice All right, there we go. A nice little break for that. But like, yeah, what was I saying right there before?
Heel turn.
Heel turn.
Ambrose,
Yes.
obvious
So
option.
the obvious heel turn right there. But sometimes in WWE, what a lot of people forget is that sometimes the obvious move is the best move. You know? And you don't have to shock people just for the sake of being shocking, you know? You don't have to be unpredictable just for being the sake of unpredictable. If something is pointing all directions that this should happen, sometimes it needs to happen, you know? And fans don't go bitching and moaning about WWE being too predictable because you guessed the outcome. I guessed the outcome for Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano yesterday to a T, and I still loved every second of that. Yep. So, yeah, just before you guys go like freaking out about predictability, just try to enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Right? Just sit back, enjoy the show. Don't let results skew your way of how you look at the match.
Yeah. No, I agree. But we'll both have Ziggs. Both guys, this is going to be one of those match of the night candidates. Both guys are incredible in the ring. Both guys can tell a great story. Both guys, the additional aspect of McIntyre and Ambrose out there is going to be great. The possibility of Ambrose turning heel is going to be great. Just so many options that they can do with this match, and it's just going to be fantastic. I'm really excited for it. I just think that Ziggler's going to retain. I think that Rollins can move on to the main title picture or just have a feud with Ambrose and no title involved.
I could see that. You know, you could emulate, you know, almost the Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose feud from before. Just flip the roles a little bit, you know, and have some fun that way. I think lunatic Dean Ambrose though is going to bring a completely different character. If you guys have never seen Jon Moxley, all right, like Jon Moxley was the character name for Dean Ambrose before he became Dean Ambrose. Back in CZW there. Check out Jon Moxley's work. Check out his promos and tell me that is not a guy that you could see Dean Ambrose being right now. And you'll understand where he gets the nickname Lunatic. Because, man, his work in CZW right there is so good. It's what got him to WWE. And I think he looks like a guy who's about to turn heel, to say the least.
He got massive. That dude is swole. It'd still say swole?
Yeah, we'll say it. We're old enough to say it. Right?
Swole.
We grew up with it. Grew up.
Swole.
He's swole. All right, what's the next match on the card?
We've got the Monster in the Bank versus KO in the Bank.
KO in the Bank. So
Braun. Big brawny Strowman. Big get these hands. Braun Strowman.
Versus the best dad in the world, not even joking.
Father of the Year, yeah.
Kevin Owens.
Literal Father of the Year, Kevin Owens.
Father of the Year, literal. Let's talk about white. All right.
We're losing our minds, and we haven't even started drinking yet.
I know, right? This is gonna be a weird stream. But who do you have in this match, man?
I got KO.
You got KO.
I have KO in the Bank. As great as Braun is, I think KO is gonna win some.
I think he wins. I think he wins via disqualification. I think there's very few times where a stipulation is put in that if somebody loses via disqualification, they lose the title, and it doesn't happen. You know, I think back to Christian versus Randy Orton. You know, all about Randy Orton's rage, and how that match. Hey, if Randy Orton got disqualified, he would lose the championship. Well, this is all about Braun Strowman's rage. You know, how if he can be pushed to the edge of being disqualified, you know, he will lose the Money in the Bank briefcase. So I think Kevin Owens is a great opportunist. I think this would be a great opportunity for him to goat Braun Strowman into...
He's the equivalent to Edge, I would say, of this generation for, like, the ultimate opportunist.
Yep, and he makes his own opportunities, right? So
Edge.
I've loved this
Top
story. I love this story from the start.
We owe a dab too. We do dabs during this?
Well, we will now. There you go.
Yeah.
Easy enough. But yeah, I could totally see Kevin Owens walking away with the Money in the Bank briefcase. That we'll get into later. You know why we think that is.
Yeah.
Or why I think that is
about
at least. But I do have a prediction for the reason why he's gonna walk with the Money in the Bank briefcase here tonight. All right, let's move on to the next match. What is it?
The baddest woman on the planet, Ronda freaking Rousey. Ronda Rousey. Versus my true love. 5 feet
A Fury.
of fury and love, Alexa Bliss.
Oh man. This match feels big. We were talking about this last night, and you told me, was it last night that you told me Alexa has just as many championship reigns as Charlotte
since the brand split.
Since the brand split.
Alexa has 5 women's title championship reigns. Charlotte has 5 women's championship title reigns. Charlotte has 4 on Raw, 1 on SmackDown. Those 4 on Raw were that bit while her and Sasha just kept flipping. Whereas Alexa's reigns, like lengthwise, have been longer.
Yep.
And she has 2 title reigns on both brands. She's the only woman in the WWE today that has 2 title reigns on both brands. And while we're on the topic here, I just want to say I've seen a ton of people talking poorly about this announced Trish Stratus versus Alexa Bliss match. And are you insane? Alexa Bliss is hands down the best heel in the WWE women's superstar and up there of all superstars. She's
mic
top
work,
5 for sure.
Her mic work is right up there with the best of the best in WWE right now.
Yeah, she's in the top 5 heels.
Not of all time, but
in WWE currently.
Yeah, she's good at what she does. I think a lot of people they don't view her as an indie darling, you know. This indie girl who we want to root, who is, you know, not pushed hard by WWE. She's the face of the Raw women's division, other than Ronda now. Like until Ronda had come in, she was the face of the Raw women's division for a long time. She was the face of SmackDown women's division for a long time. She constantly, you know, puts on good matches. She's never gonna put on a 5-star classic, you know. Never gonna say never, but not on the main roster. I don't think they're gonna give her.
Character-wise, she's amazing. She's the number 1 heel in the women's division, period. And who was the number 1 babyface in women's wrestling at the time when she retired? Hands down, Trish Stratus. It's like, and when she was a heel to start early and everything, right? But she was a face by the end, and she was beloved by everyone.
Yep.
So obviously, Trish Stratus versus Alexa Bliss is going to be great. It's going to be some solid wrestling. It's going to be wonderful character work. That's the big thing.
It's gonna be something fun. And I think a lot of people, is it almost like a reasonable thing to say that WWE fans have lost the ability to just have fun?
To an extent,
because everything is taken so seriously. I know we have fun. This community has fun, guys. When we say WWE fans, we don't talk about you. We talk about all those communities.
Well, not all of you.
Not all of you. There's some of you that are involved in this discussion, right? But you know, the channels that crap all over WWE over every little tiny thing, you know, where they say No Way Jose is a joke because he dances around the ring. You know who enjoys that? The 7 to 10-year-old kids who get their parents to pay money for tickets. And not only just bring the kids, but they bring their entire family. You know, they make it a fun outing. They dance along to No Way Jose. So is it so bad just to say, let's have a cool legend versus current star match? You know?
Yeah.
And why is it going to say she doesn't need this match? Give it to Ember Moon. What has Ember Moon done in comparison to Alexa Bliss as of this point, guys?
Mm-hmm. Also, that doesn't make sense because Ember Moon is a face and so is Trish. I don't think that there's a single retired superstar period almost that could come back tomorrow and make sense being a heel. Lita, as much as Lita was a heel and that was her best character in WWE, she's a face at this point. Mm-hmm. When she comes back, people are like, "Yay, Beth, face."
Yep.
You're like, I don't. understand it.
99% of legends that come back are gonna be a face. There's these very, 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 very select few who are legends, but they're not necessarily legends, you know. And when they come back, they're just like, we can make people boo us still, you know.
Yeah.
That's, you know what I mean. Like those people that are on the edge of still being discussed being inducted into the Hall of Fame,
yeah.
you know, who may or may not get there one day, sort of. Those type of, the mid-cards, you know, who may not have amounted to too much. They may have had, like, a couple championship reigns, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, Ronda.
Yep.
We both have Ronda.
We both have Ronda.
You're just...
I'm rambling.
We don't know,
love to ramble.
We don't know how it's going to happen. You mentioned an interesting earlier
actually, I'll just speak about this really quick here, because I guess I didn't really talk about how the match could happen, how it could end, but, like, you could have something like the match just ends
right there.
very, very quickly. Goldberg style, beating Brock Lesnar.
Squash.
You know, just absolute squash match. Beat her really freaking quick. You know, that's less than a minute, 32 minutes match. That'd be awesome. Have a little distraction from Alicia Fox. Have Ronda wreck Alicia Fox as well. And, you know, become the champ. That would be, I think, a great way to take the title off of Alexa. Be very entertaining.
World Gamer Guzman, I think.
World Gamer Guzman, thank you very much for subscribing, dude. Welcome to the channel. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think about that?
Ronda as well. I could see the squash being a thing. I could also see a little bit of a fight back, because like Alexa's good, and show a little bit of a fight back from like a wrestling standpoint, as well as with her like sneaky heel stuff. Alicia maybe gets involved somehow. Ronda just destroys her. Mm-hmm. Alicia continues to take vicious bumps from Ronda. And then Ronda ends up winning.
Yep.
But yeah, there's a number of things that I think it's got to be Ronda now, though.
They could go with a 15-minute, you know, wait fest, you know, with lots of outside interference and all that, you know, distractions, refs getting knocked down. They could go that direction. I don't think that's the way to build up Ronda as this champ right now. She's been so dominant in her quick little showings that I think we really need to see, especially against, as cunning as Alexa is, you're stepping in there with Ronda Rousey and you don't have the weight advantage.
Yeah.
Right? There's a reason why Nia Jax was able to withstand more punishment from Ronda, is because Ronda could not get the same power in her moves on Nia Jax. She's a larger competitor, right? So different weight classes. Alexa Bliss going into this match being 5 feet of fury, but literally not even having a pound on Ronda Rousey is not a good combination.
Yeah, you're not going to see Seth Rollins hit the Falcon Arrow on Braun Strowman.
Exactly.
But he'll hit it on Finn Balor all day. Yep. Right? Like.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right. So yeah, we can move past that one. And let's get into the last few matches. I think we got
last
like
two.
Yep.
Two.
There we go.
WWE Championship match. AJ
Styles
the phenomenal one. AJ Styles. Against obviously Samoa Joe, who has been phenomenal. With no pun intended. They've both been great. They're both amazing.
Yep.
For different reasons. Joe is, like, if you've watched Joe or AJ since their TNA days, which I have.
Mm-hmm. I have as well.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with it. They were two of my favorite wrestlers at the time over a decade ago when they were at their prime in TNA, and they're still two of my favorite wrestlers to this day. They're incredible. They continue to be almost better than what they were yesterday. They just like continuously get better and grow. And we've seen this match before, technically, in the past, not in WWE.
Not in WWE. No.
But for those of you who aren't familiar with it, I'm excited for it. I have Joe winning just because I think Joe deserves one championship at some point.
And hey, man, if it goes in that direction, I have no problem that being the result. I love Samoa Joe. I think he should have probably been the one to take the title off Brock Lesnar, but they kept it on it so Roman Reigns could take it off, foreshadowing. Yeah. He probably was the one, Great Balls of Fire. That probably should have been, or wait, no, that was
Great Balls.
Was it Great Balls that he had the match?
The Fatal 4-Way was, oh no, wait, was it Great Balls, or was it, it might have been the one after SummerSlam. I think it was the one after SummerSlam, the September one.
Maybe you're right. I can't remember. When was it? Great Balls of Fire. Okay,
it was
Great Balls of Fire. Okay, cool. So my memory was correct there. Cool. Doesn't happen very often. But yeah, Samoa Joe, I think he probably should have taken the title off Brock Lesnar back then. It sucks now that he's in a position where he's facing against the guy who is in the longest reigning SmackDown champion of all time, WWE champion, I should say.
Yep.
So he's in a tough position now. The heat that he would get from taking the title off of AJ, I think, is good.
Yep.
The fact that he's brought family into it is good. Do I have him winning the match? No, I've got AJ Styles. I think AJ Styles overcomes Samoa Joe here. I think the feud has not been elevated to the point where it's like, this is going to mean something with this win. It's going to be great to see the title move on to Samoa Joe, but I don't think the actual win means as much in this as of right now. If Samoa Joe was to take the title right now, I think one more little angry Joe and another run at the title somehow, some way, would probably be the Joe to take it. That Joe, the menacing Joe we saw in the feud with Brock Lesnar, not this note-reading Joe towards AJ Styles, right? I think fair. Is that a good comparison?
That's fair.
He's lost the intensity that he had with against
he's so
Brock
over
Lesnar.
with the crowd though that if he does win it, and I know that with your thought of it of Styles winning, it also makes sense for Styles to win because then Miz can come up and beat Styles for it, which then gets him some heat.
Exactly.
But Joe is so over with the crowd as well that Miz could win it off Joe at some point because Joe could take a little bit of a face turn.
He could,
at some point.
And honestly, I don't think if Joe does happen to win, or if Joe does happen to win here tonight, I don't think Miz actually ends up walking away the winner tonight. I could see Daniel Bryan straight up winning and then moving up the card to face Samoa Joe for the title.
Yeah, that's another option.
And
too,
I think if that's tonight, we're gonna see the shape of the next 6 months unfold in front of our eyes. Not quite WrestleMania season, but the next 6 months are going to start to unfold in front of our eyes after the results tonight.
Are we thinking about this whole thing wrong? Is Daniel Bryan the heel and Miz is the face, the baby face that's got to climb the mountain to beat Daniel Bryan for the championship at WrestleMania?
I don't think they could.
Is that what's going to happen?
I don't think that's what's going to happen, but that'd be an interesting turn of events.
All right, main event.
Main event time, yeah. This is going to be the triple threat.
Finally, the Brock has come back.
To wrestle once again.
Yeah, to wrestle
once
for
again.
the third time this year.
It's Bork Lesnar. Right here, Brock Lesnar.
Bjorn Lesnar.
Versus Roman
the big
Reigns.
dog, the dog of dogs.
Yeah, okay, sorry guys. Hang on 1 second. There we go. We back now?
Are we good?
We back?
Are you guys good? You there?
We still good?
What happened to you guys? We were just talking, and then you guys all just disappeared.
Yeah,
totally
right.
Not on our end at all.
Yeah, no, it was on our end, guys, here. For some reason, the internet just kind of dropped out there. It's like the internet completely just dropped, and we're back here, though, guys, so all good.
He made an absurd comment, and I cut the wire.
So what were we talking about just before there?
Rough.
Right, the large canine. The large canine.
A big dog.
This is the big match here, guys. This is the match that has been building for a long time since WrestleMania, or since before WrestleMania.
Since 3 years ago.
Yeah, since 3 years ago. There's a lot of things that can happen in this match.
4 years ago? Shit. But yeah, a long while back.
It's been a while. A lot of things that can happen in this match. A lot of potential outcomes. A lot of potential screwy finishes. A lot of potential for there to be none of that.
Turns.
There could be none of that, though, and it could be just a straight-up one-on-one match. Big brawl. That's going to result in Roman Reigns picking up the win. If
Nikolai Lysidrensky. Yeah, thanks for the sub.
Nice. Rolled the R2 and everything. Yeah. But so I think he's got to win, right? Roman Reigns. He's got to at least win with the information we know right now. If I had to pick between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, it has to be Roman Reigns, right? In this one-on-one match.
Yes, here's the thing.
Oh, yeah, and there's lots of things here to talk about.
A little BSA, Bob's service announcement.
Okay, all right.
It is damn time for Roman Reigns to be the Universal Champion. It is time to take it off Brock Lesnar. 500 days, was it?
500 days, over 500
days. Oh, yeah,
days
over
now.
500 days now?
Yep.
That's absurd for a dude who's wrestled 10 matches in the last 2 years. No offense to Brock. Brock is great. And I mean, if I was told by my boss tomorrow, we're going to pay you millions and millions of dollars to do your job 10 times a year,
Yeah.
I would do it
I would too.
100%.
I would too.
But from a standpoint, like, Roman is now the champion that we all need.
Yeah.
There's not a guy in the WWE who can be the face like Roman.
Yeah, the face. The face.
Of the,
the face.
And as much as I am an indie darling and I love all these different guys and I love the AJs and the Seths and like whomever, Finn, everyone, we have to remember that WWE is very much from a casual fan standpoint.
Based, and casual based audience.
Children love to look up to Roman Reigns. Parents love Roman Reigns because their children look up to them. It's someone who that they are okay with their children looking up to. And because of that, you have this massive amount of fans, and now he's starting to win over other fans that hated him, like Colin and I, who now are like, this dude hasn't put on a bad match in a long time.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever been a moment where I've hated Roman Reigns, though. I'll say that. I never hated Roman Reigns. I disliked some things that he did.
I think a lot of fans think back to the Suffer and Succotash and all that.
Yeah, like that little run of like 6 months there where he was thrust out of the Shield into the spotlight right away. I think his first match, like when Dean and Seth were having their feud with each other, Roman was in a WWE title picture the next night, basically. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where fans turned sour on him. He was not ready at that time. He should have broken away from the Shield at that point and gone towards a mid-card title and worked his way up the card then. They did rush Roman Reigns too quick at that time.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Suffer and Succotash. But, like, at this point, you know, Roman Reigns is not that suffering succotash guy that he used to be. AS7 plays. Thanks for subscribing, dude. I think it's his time.
Yeah, I think it's time.
We've never seen him hold the Universal Championship since its induction, right?
And this is his third chance. He's ready to continue on going. Good. I don't like his character. Needs a heel turn. Yeah, but Brandon Harbin, I mean, for parents of children younger, young children that are watching WWE.
He's their John Cena.
Right? He's that, like, superhero that they can look up to. And also, like, you have been a fan longer, so you grew up. That's the other issue. It's like parents that aren't necessarily fans of WWE, that are just, their children might like it, and they're like, yeah, it's fine. I'm going to take my kid to it.
Yourself, you're a fan.
Yeah. So that's the difference as well there. It's Roman's time. Whether or not that means that Roman walks out of SummerSlam champion, dun dun dun. That's the different thing. Then we have one more prediction, and it's is there going to be a cash-in?
I say yes, because I truly think, guys, as you've heard Bob say, that it's time for Roman's time to be champion. I don't think he leaves as the champion. I think he becomes champion, but he doesn't leave as champion. Something is up the sleeve of Paul Heyman. And I think, who is up the sleeve of Paul Heyman? But Kevin Owens. I think Kevin Owens is the one who walks out of SummerSlam holding the title high. SummerSlam has a history of swerves happening at it, big swerves. It has history of rewriting the course of the main event title picture. Throwback to Daniel Bryan and again cashed in on by Randy Orton. It is the start of the road to WrestleMania for a lot of characters, and how their road will shape. You know, this is the early parts. And I don't think that Roman Reigns is going to walk out of SummerSlam with the championship, because Kevin Owens has that Money in the Bank briefcase if he beats Braun Strowman. If he doesn't, then I'm screwed. But
I don't think that there's going to be a cash-in, because I just think that in my mind, KO's winning the briefcase. And I think KO would be fantastic with the briefcase for a little bit. He's just amazing on the mic and everything. But if KO does align himself with Paul Heyman, this is where we can finally get like a true version of the prize fighter Kevin Owens.
We could. And you guys heard the way that Paul Heyman announced Roman Reigns, the reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Champion of the world. Or how does he say? Is it Universal Champion of the world? Because that doesn't sound right. your Universal
WWE
Universal
Champion.
Champion.
Maybe that was it.
Kevin Owens, something like that, and that hype, and then you follow it up with Kevin Owens having to say something, and it's going to be very reminiscent of CM Punk and Heyman being paired together. It would be with the way that Kevin Owens and Paul Heyman could bounce mic work off of each other.
Yep.
And the fact that Kevin Owens is seen as a legitimate badass who can carry his own, that's also a reduced role for Paul Heyman, He doesn't have to be the voice of him all the time. He comes out, he's maybe signing... Here you go, prize fighter. He's getting the prize matches for Kevin Owens. He's getting those prizes for his family to make his...
My client, Kevin Owens...
Yeah.
Is the Money in the Bank briefcase holder. He deserves to be shown with the same respect as Roman Reigns, and just yada 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 yada.
Yeah, that's if he still has the briefcase after tonight. We'll see
If
he ends up getting it at all.
Is the Universal Champion.
Yeah.
And yada yada.
So guys, those are our predictions here tonight. If you guys missed any of our predictions, though, make sure you tune in to the actual live stream, which takes place in
just under 40 minutes.
Yeah, just under 40 minutes. So we're going to take a little break here between the actual live stream and this here, but make sure you guys tune in. Like I said, if you did miss any of the predictions, we will tell you beforehand who is going to win. Tonight, we are playing the board back here. As you can see, the con artists are sitting at 80 points, and the Bob Club is sitting at a measly 40. Come on. And if you guys want to play that game here tonight, we'll explain how that works. Basically, you just drop a donation, and you include whether you want the points to be given to Con or to Bob, and your donations give points, I think it's 10 points for every $1. So
so minimum $2 donation, because you have to have a comment with it. And then just comment either like points for Bob, or just put Bob in capitals, or something to make it known that you're giving me points. And at the end of the weekend, which is tonight, after the final match, and after the fade to black,
somebody is taking a chop. The loser of the points tonight are taking a chop.
The points is going to take a stiff Ric Flair
knife edge chop. Whew. It's going to be painful to whoever that has to happen to. But yeah, guys, make sure you tune in tonight. We're going to have lots of fun. Like I said, we're going to be drinking as well. So we'll have some drinking games. You can see $10 donation for a shot. I left that up there on the screen by accident, but that does take effect here tonight. So it'll be lots of fun, guys. Make sure you tune into SummerSlam. That takes place in 38 minutes. We'll be live with the pre-show. Guys, get ready for the biggest party of the summer, and let's go have some fun.